for all things Halloween. This is Hauntformer, and everyone, this weekend, Avengers Endgame hits theaters. You probably knew that, though. And while I would love to talk about the Avengers here on my channel, it's not really my thing here. This is a Halloween and horror-dominated channel. I'm not going to dive into sci-fi and superhero movies, even though I do love the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But with that being said, Avengers Endgame is here, and it's time to start thinking about where Marvel will go next with their complete gallery of heroes. One could say that maybe they're just going to keep on making new superhero movies. Maybe a movie about Moon Knight or Daredevil or the Fantastic Four, bring those into the MCU, we'll have a great big show. But maybe we should revisit those old characters in a different light. You see, the big question is, what can they do with the Infinity Gauntlet? I mean, it has the power to change reality and time as we know it. So, what if Marvel, down the road, made a Marvel Zombies movie? For all of you who aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, several years ago, Marvel Comics came out with a line of comic books called Marvel Zombies. You can find them probably online right now or at your local comic shop. Personally, I've skimmed through some of the books, but I've never really dove into the Marvel Zombies universe. But essentially, it's an alternate reality where all of the Marvel superheroes become, you guessed it, mindless zombies and eat everyone on the planet Earth. It makes it a little bit different and more interesting because they're not only zombies, they're zombies with the superpowers of the former heroes. So for example, the Iron Man zombie can still do everything that Iron Man can do, but he wants to eat human brains. There's a segment in the comic book from some research I did where they actually open like a portal to another dimension and try to go into a different dimension to eat even more human brains. So it's a very complex storyline in terms of the Marvel comic books, but I think with the Infinity Gauntlet in mind, I think Marvel could pull off a Marvel Zombies movie. I think it would work best as a horror comedy. Of course, the horror elements come in when the zombies are attacking and eating people, but the comedy comes in because Marvel is so well known for its very light-hearted tone in a lot of its films. I know Infinity War got rather dark, but I think the Marvel Zombies movie would work best as a horror comedy, similar to that of Shaun of the Dead or even Zombieland. That style, that tone would work best for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Of course, it really wouldn't be canon necessarily because it's an alternate reality, but maybe the film could start off with Doctor Strange, you know, how he explained how there's like 4 million different possibilities for the results of the Infinity War. Well, what if one of the outcomes, you know, one of many outcomes, is that the Marvel superheroes become zombies and the entire film is just kind of a what-if scenario. I know it really wouldn't fit into the whole plot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I think it would be a fun movie nonetheless. The only other question would be, what do you do about all those pesky contracts? You know, big stars like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, their time is running out, and I haven't seen Endgame, but you never know the fate of some of these heroes. So, what could they do? Well, I'm not exactly sure. One thing is, the movie is almost a parody of the other MCU movies, kind of flipping the entire dilemma on its head, making the superheroes evil, so perhaps these actors would make cameos and returns for one final film if it was very different from the previous films. I don't know, and it all depends if Disney would even go through with doing a Marvel Zombies movie, because again, a lot of kids would probably want to watch it, and it would be a lot darker and have their favorite heroes being mindless zombies. But again, it's just something I wanted to bring up on the channel, and I wanted to kind of get in on the Avengers hype just because even though I can't talk about it here, I still do love the MCU as much as the next guy. So, with that being said, I want to hear your thoughts on Avengers Endgame. Please, no spoilers. And also, let me know what you think about this Marvel Zombies idea. Thank you for watching, and remember, as always, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.